Good morning and welcome. Patriot Radio News Hour. Joe and Jason on this Friday. Yes, we've made it through another week. And, well, as we told you, it's another all-time record high in gold, silver, ripping the cover off of it. And, again, I've been for weeks now telling you it's an all-out buy. Get it put away before it costs you even more. Our toll-free number, 800-951-0592. The website at allamericangold.com. And I got great news for everybody. Buc-ee's, yes, is coming to Arizona. There's one right near the radio station in Colorado. And for those of you that don't know, Buc-ee's is like, it's a Walmart gas station. That's the best way I can describe it. They normally have like 100 gas pumps. They have a huge retail outfit in it, restaurants in it. I mean, you could spend half the day at a Buc-ee's. They're building it. They just broke ground out in Goodyear. So get ready for that. Buc-ee's is coming to Arizona, and 75,000 square feet. Yeah, it's going to be a little. It won't open till Christmas of next year, but yeah, 70. If you can imagine, 75,000 square feet, 120 gas pumps. In the Buc-ee's, they got barbecue, fudge. I mean, they got something called the Beaver Nuggets. Not sure exactly what that is, but I guess maybe beaver tastes good. I don't know. A wall of beef jerky for all you jerky lovers. 71 acres. Wow, that's a lot. By the way, they have 47 stores across the country. So, you don't get too many, they're really big. So, Buc-ee's coming to Arizona next year. I'm going to hit that wall of jerky. I can promise you that. So, a little bit of good news on this Friday. We didn't have a lot of economic data out today. Housing, it continues to be a problem. Housing starts, building permits, all way down. More than expected. Multifamily, even the apartments, which has been the big driving force, down almost 11% month over month. By the way, that's the second straight drop in multifamily. So one of the things that they're hoping for was all of these apartments were going to drive down the price to rent. Apparently, that's over. Apparently, now not here in area. You come to Phoenix, let me tell you, everything they build is a multifamily. It's insanity here. Single family starts rose a little bit, so I guess that's a little bit of good news. Permits about flat. The rate cut excitement has kind of left the building. So they're all excited, but then the bond market didn't cooperate, right? So they were hoping that, hey, mortgage, people were talking about mortgages going to maybe 5%. It's not 3, but, 5's better than 7. Jason, the bond market said, nah, not with all that debt you got to sell. And, of course, waiting for next week's BRICS meeting. That is going to be next week in Russia. Gold prices now well above 2,700. Silver, remember we told you, got to break 32, and then we'll look for 32.50. Guess what? Sitting right there. And, of course, on the TV, because we got to remember now, TV, they're showing you the December contracts. Gold's at 27.35, silver 32.67. So, Jason, both, I guess, once again, stepping on the accelerator here, and news, we're waiting to hear, what are we going to hear at this BRICS summit next week? I think that's what everybody's looking for. One of the things that I read about today They are going to set up more payments for grains, crude oil, natural gas, and others in this continued push to de-dollarize.
It's not a time to be wondering if you're going to buy gold and silver. It's a time to buy it. We've been saying that all year because all year it's done nothing but go up. So, Joe, we talked this morning. It seems like there's a lot of deer in the headlights when it comes to the election. Everyone, I'm going to make decisions when this thing. I want to see what happens if Wednesday morning, after whatever result is put in front of the American people, gold goes up $100. Right, Joe? And you could just sit here. Look, gold's at an all-time record high. You can't buy it more expensive than today, right? Essentially. And it's still a great buy. You just got to put yourself into it because, we don't know how bad inflation really is going to get. We don't know how much the BRICS is actually going to affect the dollar. I was seeing something last night that the stuff that's kind of the numbers that you see aren't really what's happening, and that the de-dollarization is at a level that is not being reported anywhere, really. You have to dig deep into these other countries' economies and what they're actually doing, and the de-dollarization is tremendous, actually. So, hyperinflation is what can happen if you have a bunch of dollars floating around. I mean, what do you do if you're China or Japan? Where are you going to spend those dollars? Well, there's one place that you could spend it. You could spend it here. And if all those dollars come home, gold can go to whatever price you put a number on, Joe.
800-951-0592. Jason and I, we're going to be right back. Stay with us. 800-951-0592. Joe and Jason, Patriot Radio News Hour. Wrapping up the week here. Quick look in at the markets. The Dow's down about 85 points. The S&P's up 17. The Nasdaq's up 100. The 10-year note yesterday, right, climbed back over 4.1, down a little bit today, 4.07, but still much higher than people want to see. And, of course, debt, right? It's just overwhelming. And the fact of the matter is, all of these, every $10 of new issuance, like $10 is like a nanosecond. Like you can't even, I don't even know if you can record it, right? That's how fast the debt goes. We probably say every $1 billion that they issue. You got to remember, I don't know if you saw it, the debt just jumped again. Right now we're almost at 3.8 trillion. Of course, or 35.8, sorry. 35.8 trillion. We're almost at 36. And of course, by the end of the year, right around inauguration, it's going to be 37. And then the question will be, do we hit 40 before 2025 ends? That's really the only debate. It's going to be over 39. Question will be, will it be over 40? And, of course, we know what? The foreigners aren't buying. And next week, we're anticipating that even more reasons for them to stop buying dollars and the need for dollars. Right now, gold's up $26. $2,720. Silver up 92 cents. $32.57. That is a very key level. Get ready for liftoff. But we've been telling you. You better get more diversified. You better be smart here. Listen, I get it. I know, right? Oh, but the stocks are at all-time highs. And granted, if you only have NVIDIA and Amazon and Apple, in your portfolio, then hey, great. But, that's not how it works. But when this thing goes, and believe me, it's going, you need to have assets somewhere else. Gold and silver, double up, triple up. Check out our friends at YRefi. Why? Because you get up to 10.25% fixed rate of return, not correlated to Wall Street. A lot of you listen, and I'm right. A lot of you, hey, I've got a bunch of money in this IRA. You need to get that money and diversify. I'm not about to tell you, hey, get all out of stocks. No. That's not what we're saying. Lessen the risk, lessen the exposure. You know the rules. You got to have at least 50,000. That's the minimum. But check them out. InvestYRefi.com. You can use it as income. You can compound it, whatever you want. You can start by compounding it, and then 2, 3, 4 years, I say, you know what, now I want income. You can do what you want. No fees. They don't attack principal. InvestYRefi.com. That's the word invest, the letter Y, REFY.com. Call them up, 888-973-3924, 888-Y-REFI. Check them all out. But Jason, as gold and silver here rallying again, gold breaking through 2,700. Are we setting ourselves up? During this rise, we've had multiple instances where gold just blows through a number. Right? I mean, gold went to 2,200. It didn't even stop at 2,100, right? It was like 2,100 for like a day, 2 days, right? It's gone.
It didn't stop at 2,200 either. It just kept going.
Right.
It went from 2,000 to 2,300. Yeah, it went up steeply on Friday. I remember the Friday. It was a Friday, and it went above 2,100. And we're like, wow, it's really going to stay up. On the following Monday, it went up again. By the following Friday, it was 2,200. It was up big on that Friday. And then the next Monday, it was up again big. By the next Friday, it was in the 2,300 range. And so we skipped 2,100 gold and 2,200 gold like it didn't exist. And so, yeah, Joe and I, we talk about this once in a while, but it's up big again. It's been moving really good this week. If it's up again Monday, we could by next Friday have 2,800 gold. It's just what has these big pushes like it's been doing all year. That's the record. So we'll see what happens on Monday because it's big today and it's in new territory, right? All-time record highs. How many? We said that I think 40 times this year, right?
Yeah, a lot of times, and I really like what silver is doing today. If it closes above 32.50, look out. Just look out. Again, silver and gold, they're both buys. They're without a doubt. And why? Well, why am I so certain? Well, because I know what the debt's going to be. I know that's a known thing. I know what central banks are doing. And then today, more news coming out about the summit next week. They're setting up what they're going to call a new clearing house. Now, this is a big deal. This is, clearing trades. They're going to call it pretty simple, BRICS Clear. So now we've got the M Bridge, right? The BRICS M Bridge. That is the payment mechanism where Saudi Arabia, as an example, UAE, they don't have to take dollars for oil anymore. They take any currency that they desire through the Bank of International Settlements. So this is coming. Now they're having a platform to settle security trades. And they're saying they want an extension of the BRICS grain trading mechanism. So right now in BRICS, they can trade grains in local currencies and do all that stuff. They're going to extend it to oil, natural gas, and gold. So these are the three new. So again, Jason, they're setting up things to say, okay, you no longer have to use dollars for these items, right? You don't have to use dollars for grain. You don't have to use dollars for oil. You don't have to use dollars for natural gas, and you don't have to use dollars for gold. And I think as this thing comes out, I think this is just what we're going to see. We're going to see this again next year at the next BRICS Summit. What are they going to do? Well, they're probably going to add more countries, and then they're going to say, oh, by the way, here's a bunch of other stuff that you don't need dollars for. And already, as we've explained, every $10 of debt, the foreigners are only buying one. The problem with that, go back 10 years. They were buying 7, 8. Go back 20 years. They were buying 9 out of every $10. It went from 9 to 7 to 5. Now it's down to 1. And with all of these initiatives, Jason, I don't even know what it looks like when all of a sudden the foreigners aren't buying any new debt. And all of it has to be consumed here. And Jason was kind of talking about that. Listen, there's one place you can spend dollars. That's right here. So if the foreigners aren't going to spend it by buying our debt, that means we have to, which is inflation. Jason, plain and simple, it's hard to see inflation going down if people aren't going to buy this debt. It really is.
And where are all these central banks across the world that are stocking up on gold, countries, governments that are stocking up on gold? Where are some of them getting the money to buy this gold? You trade into treasuries, you buy the gold. And there's a lot of a lot of speculation, but there's a lot of guys I'm watching saying, that's what they're doing. They're very quietly just moving it from treasuries to gold. Talk about a way to push the sagging London gold spot price, right, Joe? They're forcing this gold price to go up here. Gold's way more expensive in China per ounce. They love buying it cheap here, don't they, Joe? They love this. Hey, they're going to try to keep people away from gold. We'll just keep on scooping it up. So whatever available ounces in the Western world, they're just going to be bought up by the East, Joe.
Yeah, and again, you're seeing these countries trying to keep it under wraps, right? Not declaring what they're actually buying. We've got to look at import data to try to figure it out, right? Even though China, it's always that, China didn't buy gold this month. They didn't? Well, see, that's actually not factual. They just didn't report that they bought that China's central bank bought gold. But when you look at the data, okay, did all of a sudden, did China import 20 or 30 less metric tons? The answer is no. Matter of fact, for the last, 3 months that they haven't bought gold, the imports actually went up. Someone's buying it. Saudi Arabia. We just learned last month, I think it was last month. Saudi Arabia's been buying gold since they joined BRICS. It's almost 2 years. Haven't made one official announcement. Until what? Until somebody looked at the import data and said, hey. And then the Saudis were like, okay. Yeah, well, maybe we've doubled our gold holdings. Hey, you caught us.
You kind of get the feeling the BRICS nations, led by Russia and China, are going to push this gold thing until. I wonder if they're just sitting there, the leadership in those countries, wondering, do they really have gold in that Fort Knox? Let's just buy everything. Let's just push this because we're going to do this BRICS thing. Let's just make them tell us if there's anything sitting there, right, Joe? Because what would happen if this keeps going the way it's going, and America needs to get into their so-called gold reserves and there's nothing there? What if the confiscated 33 gold, suddenly the things are going really bad here? Maybe a type of hyperinflation starts. Hey, man, bust it out. We need to save this country. Oh, wait a minute. There's nothing there. The Federal Reserve, you owe us. We got rid of that long ago. We enriched ourselves with that long ago.
I don't know. Obviously, none of us know. I want to believe that it's there. I don't know if there's 8,000 metric tons that's what they've had on their balance sheet for decades. And remember, right, Nixon closed the gold window in 1971. We had, after World War II, we had 20,000 tons of gold. 20,000. They said, Nixon closed the gold window in 1971 because they were going to run out, right? We did, okay, we're not giving people gold anymore. That's done. And, of course, all of a sudden the debts take off. It's funny how that works, right? The debt was $400 billion in 1971, most of that from World War II. Okay, no more gold for dollars, and bam, $36 trillion later. But here's the thing. I want to say it was Mint Director Moy in, somewhere around the financial crisis, mid to late 2000, right? 07, 08, maybe even 2010, somewhere in that time frame. He said, he did an interview where he said he has seen the gold in Fort Knox. That's what he said. But he said something really interesting. That it's not in deliverable form. So to deliver gold, the bar has to be about 400 ounces, and it has to be pure. Like 995, something like that, purity on a gold bar. I'll tell you what he said. Oh, even drinking water gets tough as you get older. Whoa, went down the wrong pipe there. 800-951-0592. Joe and Jason wrapping up the week talking about what former U.S. Mint Director Moy said. He gave an interview that he had seen the gold in Fort Knox. Now, all 8,000 tons is not in Fort Knox. They have some gold at West Point, the mint there. I believe, and I could be wrong on this, I think Denver has some gold. San Francisco may have some gold. The majority of it, though, is at West Point. And here's what he said about it. He goes, it's dirty. It's dirty, he said. He said that you could still see in some of the bars the Liberties, the Indians, the St. Gaudens. He said when they melted these coins down, so when they confiscated gold in 1933, the gold that was here, that the citizens turned in, they melted it down. All the gold that was overseas stayed in coin form. But the gold that was here got melted down. But they didn't make it the way you would thought. If you're going to the hassle of melting it down, you would think you would just melt it down, take the impurities out, because you got to remember the $20 gold pieces, the $10, the $5, they had copper in it. Just not a lot, but just a little bit of copper to give it hardness. Because anybody that knows, ask the ladies out there. You don't want to buy 24 karat jewelry at all, ever. Because gold's really soft. 24 karat gold, really soft. You take a 24 karat gold coin, you take two of them and put one on top of the other, they'll actually scratch. They'll scratch both of them. That's how soft gold is. People don't realize, I don't think a lot of people realize how soft it is. But in any event, according to Moy, they didn't take the impurities out. They melted it just enough and called it good. So he's like, these bricks, they're black and gold. Like, they got the impurities are kind of all crusted in it, and you can still see the coins. So the United States, I'll say this, if they did need to back the currency with gold, and understand why, because I will be honest with you, 20 years ago, I wasn't saying this. Of course, you got to remember, 20 years ago, the debt was, 4 or 5 trillion? It wasn't that bad. But now, when you see what BRICS is trying to do, and it's having an effect, and now they're going to say, hey, by the way, we're going to add oil, natural gas, and gold. No longer need dollars for any of those things. Of course, the big one in that, oil. Such a big commodity. People don't understand. That may be the most important thing. That's why people, these countries, that's why they have dollars to buy oil. Because everyone needs a lot. I mean, think about how much oil, think about all the oil we use, like 20 million barrels a day. China uses way more than that. India, right? They're going to be using way more than that. I mean, it's a huge commodity. If we start having issues at these bond auctions, and we're already, let's face it, we're already having issues. They're not catastrophic yet. But as everybody, when you pay attention to what the banks really say, hey, we're one hiccup away from trouble. And we've had trouble before, right? When Fed adds these emergency programs and all this other nonsense. Gold confiscation, Jason, I think, is back in play. I really do. It's another reason why you want to have pre-1933 gold, because it's considered a collectible. It's the only thing you can't put into an IRA. I can put gold eagles in there. I can put gold bars in there. I can put pandas, maple leafs, Krugerrands. Can't put $20 gold pieces in it, or $10 or $5. Nope, can't do it. There's a reason. And if we need to give confidence that you can buy U.S. debt and have it not blow up in your face, there's one way to do it. Back it with gold. I wonder if they're going to have to remelt down the gold at Fort Knox and make it into delivery bars. I don't know. Maybe that at this point, maybe that's how we get an audit where, like the rest of the world, they say, okay, you're going to back it by gold. Prove it, right? Show us. We want to see it. I know I want to see it, right? Why can't we see it, Jason?
Yeah, there's too many factors that are positive for gold. And I understand what's going on in the world. Joe and I, we talk about it every day. But you got to pay yourself first. How many of those economic advisor guys, pay yourself, right, Joe? Pay yourself. Well, pay yourself. If you're not putting something away, then your future self is going to suffer. It really is about taking care of yourself in the future. That's what gold and silver is. That's what savings is. If you need to take care of yourself in the here and now, we can do that too. You sell it to us. But if you want to take care of yourself in the future, you buy it. You don't hold on to the cash. The whole Federal Reserve note religion that has the world captivated. More people spend Federal Reserve notes than anybody participates in any religion in human history. More Chinese and Japanese and Asians and Europeans use dollars than practice any religion that's ever been known. It's cultish, right? And it's ingrained in all of us. Everything has to be valued in dollars, right? If you start to think a little bit about how many ounces I've got, and how many gallons of gas can I buy with silver quarters? You roll of quarters, there's 40 gallons of gas in there. Silver quarters, a gallon of gas. You buy a roll of quarters, you got 40 gallons of gas in a tube. It's hard to transform your thinking that way because everything is dollars. Everything is thought in dollars. A lot of the people that are buying gold and silver are selling. Some of these guys that come and sell to us, Joe, but they never bought from us. They have the little numbers of exactly what price they bought the silver at. It's like, well, that's nice. So he bought it at, I don't know, $600. He's selling it to us at $700. And he feels so good about himself. But he's losing 20 ounces of silver is what he should be thinking about. What's he going to do with the cash? If he's going to do something he needs to, that's great. But it's all about transfixed into dollars. And that's what the BRICS is all about. The BRICS is all about changing how important dollars are. And if people just lose faith in dollars, things get bad. And suddenly, ounces of gold become really important again.
When we get back, everybody's talking about how high gold's going to go. I'll tell you what the gold traders are saying next. 800-951-0592. Joe and Jason on this Friday. It's funny. I was looking at some of the specials. We had rolls of silver eagles one day. You could get it at $725. They're $800 plus now in a single week. That's just what it's going to do. That's what you're in store for. I think sometime next year, rolls of silver eagles are going to be over $1,000. Going to be over $1,000. It's incredible the destruction that is happening in the dollar right now. Today's special, U.S. $10 liberties, 1 through 9, $14.75. You're going to save $30. I mean, if you buy 10 or more, $14.65. Save $40. Regular price right now, it's over $1,500 for a $10 gold piece. When Jason first started in 2018 with me, what a $20 gold piece was like $1,200.
$1,250, yeah, and $1,250 to $1,300 for 2018 into 2019. For over a year, we were selling it for that price.
This is what's happening. Get it put away. I've already told you, I'm pretty good at this, where gold's going. And it's funny now watching these commodity guys, the guys that are in the pits, and what they're saying about gold today. The Fed's determination to slash real interest rates in the coming quarters. Investors simply need to hedge inflation and the threat of U.S. dollar debasement. Gold is heading well above 3,000. How about the next guy? This is the Goldman guy. The gold price action remains superb. This is an asset that is whatever you wish it to be. I'm certainly not looking to pick a fight with the underlying demand story in gold. This is the trend. These guys will tell you, hey, we're not shorting gold paper. We're not doing it anymore. We're going to lose our ass because demand is so strong, and regardless of what the Fed says, inflation is real. Dollar debasement is real. And this is what you have to get ready for. I know we got an election coming. I know. And if we're on the precipice of World War III, I know that too. Right? And we got debt, and we got this and that. But, stocks are at all-time highs. Why? Why are they at all-time highs? Why is it that 450 of the 500 companies that make up the S&P profits are down? There's a problem brewing, and it's a big, big problem. And the problem is in the debt market. I know people don't want to hear it. People don't want to understand it. But you better start paying attention. Right now, I got to believe Jay Powell is crapping his pants. Saying, wait a minute, I just cut rates 50 basis points. No one was even expecting 50. And the 10-year note went up. Didn't go down, it went up. The yield curve has uninverted. Been uninverted now for about a month. Time is running out. $10 liberties. This may be, who knows? We get the price action on Monday. If we got $27.50 in gold on Monday, look out. We're going to go to 28. It's just going to happen. It's going to happen. This may be the last time you can buy a $10 gold piece for under $1,500, Jason. It could be right now.
Yep. It was $1,500 on the website before the special came in.
Right. 1505 to be exact. 1475, 1 through 9, 10 or more. 1465 at 800-951-0592. If you're just joining us, gold's up $25. 2,720. Silver's now up $1.03.
Boy.
Look out. 32.68. Is it going to be $33 today? Could be. Could be. I mean, man, it's incredible the action that is occurring right now. Tell you what I'll do. You want some Silver Eagles? $7.95. That's the best I can do. I'll take $10 off. $7.95. Today may be the last day to buy a roll of Silver Eagles for less than $800. It really, I mean, this is what the price action is saying. And now you got the guys on the paper side saying, that's it. We can't fight this. And notice what they talked about. Demand. Overwhelming demand. Why is there overwhelming demand? Inflation. De-dollarization. Yeah. And then the BRICS meetings this week. Who knows? I don't know what to expect. I'm excited and nervous at the same time. Patriot Radio News Hour. We'll be back. Final segment of the week. 800-951-0592. $10 Liberties. $14.75. You're saving $30. Buy 10 or more, save $40 a coin at $14.65. Is this going to be the last time that we see a $10 Liberty below $1,500? It's hard to think. You know, it's crazy when you think about it. But yeah, could very well be. U.S. Silver Eagles, $795 a roll. And I'm sitting there, look at it. So silver's up over $1 an ounce, and now it's hit the new high for the year. Big momentum here. Is this the last time we're going to see silver below $800 a roll? The first thing I ever sold at Patriot, by the way, was a roll of Silver Eagles. It was $125 for the roll. And I still remember, the lady's name was Jan. Remember it to this day. And now I'm sitting here 20 plus years later and saying, hey, I don't think come Monday you're going to buy silver for less than $8. I don't know. I mean, they could go down Monday, right? It could. But Jason and I have seen this pattern all year, especially with the BRICS meeting. And then, of course, what? The Israelis said they're going to do something before the election. Well, they're running out of time. By next week, right? By the end of next week, you got to be thinking, okay, it's either this weekend or next weekend, right? We're running out of weekends. 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour wrapping up this week. And Jason, it's just incredible when I think about what's happening in these markets, and when you look at supply and demand, it's not complicated. This is easy. It's easy to understand. We are cranking out dollars like it's nobody's business. Right? You wake up and the debt goes up $150 billion in a single day. Every day it goes up $3-4 billion every single day. And then there's 150. Right? Yesterday, it went up $80 billion in a single day. And now, less and less reason for foreigners to buy dollars because they can get what they need using their own currencies. And let's face it, the dollar investment this whole century has been terrible. Right? I mean, for most of the century here, like for 15 years, you got nothing. And now, okay, 10 years, 4%, big deal. They're like, dude, what a loser that is. Right? Every time I turn around and I try to buy things in dollars, it's costing me a fortune. Yeah. Put it away. Be your own central bank. 800-951-0592. Jason and I, we're coming right back, wrapping it up with the half-empty cup. Stay with us.